Greetings, greetings, greetings. Today is October 5th, 2019. And this is another lesson employing weaponized logic regarding the movement in the Ruwach, okay? Now, let's just jump right in because, you know, these joints are bite-sized. They're 10 minutes at tops. Now, let's go to John chapter 5, okay? John chapter 5. We're going to start at verse 19 and read also to verse 20. Then, so again, John 5, 19 and 20. Then answered Yahuwshuwa and said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he seeth the Father do. For what things soever he doeth, these also doeth the Son likewise. For the Father loveth the Son, and sheweth him all things that himself doeth. And he will shew him greater works than these, that ye may marvel. Okay? So the precept or the understanding I want to draw out of this is the Father gives us instructions for how to govern ourselves in this land. Okay? The Father gives us instructions for how to govern our vessels through the Ruwach that was sent in Yahushua's name. Okay? Now, when you've been given instruction from the Father, you don't need to, here's a perfect example. Say your earthly father gives you some instructions. Son, daughter, go clean your room, okay? You don't then need to go back to your dad and say, do you want me to go clean your room? I mean, do you want me to go clean my room? He didn't already gave you instruction to go clean your room. You don't have to go and ask again, do you want me to go clean my room? In the very same vein, if we have been given instruction pertaining to certain matters in this land, in the earth, we don't need to go and ask the Father, we don't need to go and pray, do you want me to go do this? He didn't already told you what to go and get done. Now, we have a precept for going to pray, okay? We do have precepts for going to pray about a matter. We can find one in Daniel chapter 2, verses 14 through 18. Now, when we take that precept and rightly divide that thing, though, what we're going to see there is Daniel, when the issuance went out from the king, go and scrap the wise men, kill them all. Daniel was like, hold on, wait a minute. So he went and conferred. Now, with who? The brethren. He didn't have to go and pray to see if he needs to be assembling with the brethren. That understanding was already there. Okay, he went and prayed about a matter coming from outside the body, coming from an outside source, if you will, to go and deal with a matter that the Father had not already given him instruction for. He didn't have to go and pray to go confirm if your Father wanted him to do something he had already told him to do. That's how we need to rightly divide what's being said to you right now versus what was done pertaining to going to pray about a matter. All right. Now, let's go ahead and you know, I don't want to come off like I'm beating up on you or anyone, but you know, kind of if the shoe fit, you know, that's your shoe. And so keeping that understanding, I want to convey this. If you're one who feels like you need to go and pray about a matter and the scriptures then already told you to go and carry that thing out, you really need to reevaluate your ability to hear the Ruwach of the Father, okay? Because the Ruwach has already laid down the foundation for what needs to happen in this earth through the word, okay? And if you need to go and pray about something that's already been established, you need to really reevaluate your operations and more specifically your alignment with Yahuwshuwa Ha'Mashiyach. Because if we are to walk in the ways that he did, he didn't go and he got the instruction from the Father. He didn't have to go and confirm if that's what he needed to do. He went and did it because he already had the instruction, okay? And even when he was in Gethsemane in the garden, he say, if this be your will, that wasn't him making sure that was his will. That was him establishing, this is your will. This is what needs to be done. This is what I'm going to go and do. Okay. And so let's go ahead and let's establish this principle here. Turn to 1 John 3, chapter 3, verse 17. Okay. Chapter 3, verse 17, 1 John. All right. How much time I got? All right, bet. All right, so 1 John chapter 3, verse 17. But whoso hath this world's good, and seeth his brother have need, and shutteth up his bowels of compassion from him, how dwelleth the love of Yahuwah in him? Okay, look. You don't need to go if you got a bag, right? If you got monies, and your brother come to you and say, "Hey, bro, I need some monies." Do you need to go and pray to go and see if the Father wants you to give the brother some money? I mean, and all things in righteousness? No. The scripture already told you what to do in that matter. How you gonna say you love the Father and shut up your bowels of compassion to your brother? You don't need to go and pray to see if this is the thing that needs to be done. The scriptures has already laid down the instruction and the principles for that matter. So if you feel, again, you need to go and pray, you need to get in better alignment with the scriptures themselves through the Ruwach unto Yahuwah and Yahuwshuwa, his son. All right, now let's turn to Hebrews chapter 10, because there's a thing happening in the earth, and Robertson from Wise Life, he done already kind of laid it down in that Friday Ride Day that he got out, okay? And this assembly and assembling that's happening amongst the brethren. Now, he didn't lay down the list of brothers, so I don't have to do all of that, but there are a list of brothers scattered all across the world. We dealing with Sweden, Germany and Oklahoma and Arkansas and Arizona and Chicago and Michigan City and Orlando. And if I left you out, my apologies. But there are brothers all around the world assembling themselves together. And so look, Hebrews chapter 10 verse 25. Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as ye see the day approaching. You don't need to go and pray about a matter if the instruction has already been given. Then you really need to ask yourself, why are you going to pray about a matter if the instruction has already been given? I'm not saying the assembling is for everybody, because it's not. We know that the word of Yahuwshuwa ain't for everybody. But if you are feeling led by the Ruwach to go and assemble yourselves with the brethren in this matter, why are you going to pray about this matter? Be obedient to the Ruwach and the unctioning of his call. Because you're very going to pray about this matter, and you feeling that unction to go and do that thing is disobedience according to the Ruwach. The Ruwach is telling you, go and assemble yourselves. You pause and backing up and having to feel that you need to go and pray about if you should assemble yourself. That's disobedience. Fall in alignment with the Father and get out of yourself and do that in which you are being commanded to do in the scriptures. All right, now look, let's turn to 1 Corinthians chapter 1. 1 Corinthians chapter 1. Because this is the principle dealing with the assembling of ourselves. Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Master, Yahuwshuwa Ha'Mashiyach, that ye all speak the same thing, that there be no divisions among you, but that ye perfectly join together in the same mind. What mind is that? That's the mind of the Ruwach. That's the mind of Yahuwshuwa. That's the mind of Yahuwah. And in the same judgment. What judgment is that? Appreciate you, Op. What judgment is that? Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. This is the judgment that the believers of the Mashiach ought to have, moving in the Ruwach. Righteous judgment. Not judging according to the appearance of what they see, but judging according to the inward man. That when the scriptures are rightly dividing that thing, what are you waiting on? When the scriptures are rightly dividing the Ruwach of the man that's speaking to you, what are you waiting on? Get out of yourself and move in the Ruwach before you mess around and miss this opportunity to gather and assemble ourselves. Because like what I say, it's only, oh, that's my time. Look, I'll finish up here. Like what I say, there's only going to be 25 that can even be joined in. So with that being said, get in right alignment with the Ruwach of Yahuwah and step according to the call and get about his mission. Shalom.